Hello, I'm Micks Mowers and Mower Man, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, an old friend of mine, Johnny's just rocked up. I sold him a mower 3-4 years ago, and he's moving house. So he decided he don't need the mower, he's downsized and what have you. So he wants to get rid of a mower. I've got Nana out. Nana's currently out. What are you up to, Nana? You're hanging your washing out. Hello, whose are these? Whose are those? They ain't mine. Nana. These pink ones, whose are those?
Yours.
No, they're not mine, Nana.
I can't reach it.
What, these ones?
No,
Yeah, whose knickers are those?
yours.
Whose knickers are those? They're your strides, aren't they? Are they yours as well? How come you don't do a matching thing then?
Because I haven't got them in.
What if you were hit by a bus? You can't go to hospital with, you can't go to, that's fine, you can't go to hospital with,
Peg it on there.
it doesn't need to be pegging, it's on a coat hanger. You can't go to hospital now and get hit by a bus with unmatching crackers. What are you doing? Oh, that makes all the difference.
It does.
Are they your crackers?
They don't fall off.
Nana?
Yes.
Yes, they are. Nana's crackers, everyone. Right, so here it is here. Let me bring it down the garden. Now, this little mower, I picked it up a long time ago, and I think I got it from my contact in Brighton. I get a lot of my stuff from. Well, used to. Haven't heard from them recently. Mountfield, 21-inch aluminium deck. Now, when I first got it, I think the engine was done. And said to my mate Johnny, he wanted a mower, so I said, I'll make you one. So that's pretty much what I did, is I put together a few bits and bobs and made him a nice little mower. And he's had it for quite a few years, but now he's moving house. I think he's got another mower. Batteries in the back of his shed. So he said, if you want it back, you can have it for nothing, which is cool. I like nothing. Nothing is the best price ever. Alan's looking at. That's all, there you go. Perfect. Now, there's only fuel in it. Now, I haven't tried to start. Johnny's just left. There is fuel in there. Oh, my Lord. Okay. So what I thought I'd do today is try and bring back this little lawnmower back to life. Let's see if it'll start. Throttle all works, is it? Yeah, throttle's working. Dead man switch says it's working. Drive says it's working. Yeah, so you can actually see it's one of mine because on the old cable, when I repaired or sort of put it together for him, it had a broken cable. So 4 years later, the old Micks Mowers crimping has stood the test of time. Now that look, still works. So I thought today, nice little video, try and get this little machine up and running. And will it serve another couple of years? Let's just check the oil, see what the oil looks like. I don't expect it hasn't been serviced by me, that I do know. Let's just check the old oil, see how we're looking. Well, there's oil in it, but there's not a lot of oil in it. But there is some oil in there. Let's just try and fire it up, see what it do. They said it didn't start. Let's have a little look. See what we get out of it. Let's try and just manipulate that around a bit, Mix. That runs a bit smoother. It wants a few bits of hardware on it. Right. Let's have a look. Right, nothing there. Let's put a little bit of spray down the old neck of it, and try and get it just to go bang. If it was there, that didn't look too shabby. We'll grab a bit of spray, bit of the old Carby spray, and we'll spray it down the head. Come on, Pip. And see if we can't get it just to go bang. If it goes bang, then we should be in a situation where we can perhaps get this little motor to run again. That'd be great. I'm not going to put no more oil in it because obviously I want to do a complete oil change on it. Air filter change, spark plug. All right, Riley boy, you changed. Come on, did I miss you? No, I didn't miss you. No. Right, so put a bit of Carby spray down the head. Just try and liven it up. And we're going to put it onto choke and see what happens. So the drive all works. And the engine cuts out, which means it's a carburetor fault. And it won't restart on choke. So let's give it a little bit more love. A little bit more love on the lawnmower.
Daddy.
And we're going to re-choke, 2 seconds mate, we're going to re-choke it. So you hear the hunting and surging? Yeah. So it will idle, but you go down too far, and it will just shut off. And it won't re-choke itself. So carburetor needs to come off to get this machine up and running. We're going to do a carburetor, spark plug change, air filter change, blade sharpening balance, oil change, all that sort of good stuff. New pull cord as well, up and running, nice and tidy, and hopefully it should run and cut to serve another day. So if you've got a lawnmower which you just took out the shed, and it'll only start either on carburetor spray or it won't start full stop, then this could be the video for you as long as you have a bowl metal style carburetor. Right, so this is a 2007 machine, so it has done a little bit of work already, but I'm hoping we can resurrect her. That's the general idea, and if we can, should be a good little machine. So we're going to go straight in. Fuel's now been turned off. We're going to go straight in with a carburetor clean. Now it's going to be, hopefully, a quick and dirty. So no mucking about. And hopefully we can get this machine to run nice. If it runs nice, then yeah, it should be a good machine. So it wasn't a bad little Honda engine on it to begin with. So I think it's just been sort of just not neglected, just put to one side. Left be. Let me just open this door up a bit because we've got a lovely weather today, so I can get as much sunlight into the shed as possible. Right, in your bed, Pip. Come on, good girl. And I'm going to try and get this carby off. So let's have a little look. Remove the bolts, untwist them as they come out. There's one. 2. I'm going to remove this plate, which also have a crankcase breather there, which goes onto that pipe just there. Now, as you can see, this carburetor is absolutely filthy. Have a little look at that. Absolutely beautiful. That might be half the reason why this isn't all working is because the throttle, actually, I think the throttle is actually, no, it's moving, it is moving. But it's all just being hooked up, gummed up, not very nice looking, but we can improve that, 100%, we can improve that. So, need to remove the carb, need to remove the fuel line, all that sort of good yummy stuff. What was that that's come up there? I think that's the carb installation block, yeah, that can come off. Down there, should be a metal plate behind that somewhere. That'll come off of there. Lovely job. And then we've got the carb here. Now, I want to drop the carb down just so I can get to the fuel pipe. And once the fuel pipe's off, then this carb will just remove itself relatively easy. So let's just get hold of this fuel line, give a bit of a twist just to break the seal, and then just take that off. There it goes. And then got your carby, lift these rods up, both rods lift up at the same time, tilt the carb over, away it goes, and just remove a little tiny spring on the top of the throttle arm, just like so, and carburetor is now off. Look at the state of that. It's a lovely little carb. So a quick little clean off. I'm just going to spray it off and then hit it with some WD-40 and then blow it off with my air compressor, get it nice and clean. By the time you see it, this will be 110% cleaner, and then it'll be ready for carburetor cleaning. It's amazing what a quick little blow off with a compressor does, quick little clean up, but I don't want to muck about with this carb too much because I want to get it clean. So I'm going to put the carburetor just there. I'll do a carburetor clean down here because the top of my shed looks like Beirut at the moment until I get rid of this Cobra lawnmower. and then I'll have a bit more room to do carburetor cleans up the other end, but we do it down here on the bench. Right, so we should be good to go. Little tiny bit of GT85 cleaner just on the tray, little wipe off because we want to try and minimise as much dirt on this carb as humanly possible. Nice little carburetor tray here. Lots of people have been asked about this little carburetor tray. I got it from Amazon, and it's just great. Got a little magnet tray on the front there just for your bits and your bobs, and you can just literally take your carb apart and not lose any bits and bobs. So yeah, that's why I like it. Right, into the carb we go. Tip onto its side, 10mm. Crack the bottom. I wonder what joys we're going to find in here. Let's open them up. Little tiny tap. Off comes carby. Oh, that'd be why we're not running, baby. Yeah, oh, the yumminess in there, look. Yumminess. Right, so it's not actually as bad as I thought it was going to be. That will clean up with a little tiny brush in there, so that's no drama. I can get on with that a bit later on. But the main problem is going to be the float pin's got to come out. The float's got to come up with a needle attached to the bottom of it, just there. And there's a little tiny main jet just in there, which has got to come out. So let me grab my old trusted Honda screwdriver, of which I manufactured myself. Go into there, find the hole. Oh, did it come out? Yeah, I think it did. I heard something move. Did it or not? It wants to, but it's going to take a bit of negotiation because it is quite dirty in here. Yeah, it's coming. Good show. This is the one you've got to get out. You've got to get this main jet out for it to stand any chance of recuperation. A little bit of spray in there just to help that along. It is just absolutely full up with stuff in there. Now, the main pilot jet in here is the main reason why these little carbies want to play up. Now, let's give it a good couple of taps. I'm going to try and encourage that jet to come out. It's got to come out. Now, you can just try and force the emulsion tube. Inside there's an emulsion tube. A little brass bit sitting up there. You just get a hold of it, just get a bit of a poke. And that'll drop back down. And then just keep mucking about with it. It will come eventually. You just got to keep mucking about with it best you can and try and get that out. But that jet has got to come out of it. That's already undone, that I can see. Just going to put it back in and then loosen it back out again. Does that make sense? Just to try and clean these threads up inside because they are just a little tiny bit knackered. It's going to take me about 5 minutes to get this out. But once it starts to loosen up a little tiny bit, we should be able to get the main jet out. It's right proper stuck in it in a minute. Now you can get an Allen key up in there and try and poke that down. And I might just try and do that now. Grab a really small Allen key. Let's go for that 2mm. It looks to be quite a good one. Let's go for a 2mm. Grab him and then just let you try and poke the emulsion tube down in the hole, just to try and encourage that to come out. I'll put a bit of pressure on that and I'm going to unscrew it at the same time. Yeah, it dropped. Felt it drop. Here it comes. There's the main jet. Oh, there's the main jet. Now we've got the emulsion tube out. There's the emulsion tube. Look at the gunk on that. Look. Absolutely riddled with stuff. Right, so we've got the two main components out. The last main component we've got to take out will be the slow running idle circuit screw on these Hondas. And that's with a little tiny Phillips. You go for wind or JIS. You've got to wind this screw out here first. Take this one out. Just like so. Have him out. And there's a little tiny screw in. Now you know it's a JIS screw because there'll be a little tiny nick just in the screw head, just there. Okay, on the top. We use this JIS. And we're going to loosen that off. Take that one out. Right, now this is the carburetor in its entirety, empty, ready to rock and roll, ready to clean. So now's the time. Get your GC85, whatever it is you've got, and literally where there is a hole, you're going to poke it in, see where it comes out from, and then poke it back. So you're making sure that all the fluids are running in every single part of this carburetor where it needs to. So where you see the fluid come out, push it back the other way. That way we're ensuring we're getting good overall blockages unblocked. Let's block that one. Lovely. Now this one here, you can actually remove that by, we have to break this little tab off, okay, or burn it with a wax. There's some holes just here on this little tiny brass jet just inside there. But we can get a little tiny thing there and just spray that up in there. Let's clean that out. Right, that is a carby cleaned. It don't take long to clean these out. All the debris removed, quick and simple. Now that one there, that'll be coming out through a hole, right through the side of that carb. You watch, through the middle of a carb. And you can see that. I can see it. Let me try and turn it around for you. Here you go. You want that running. Right, we're getting there. Right, that should be the carb done. So put the carb down on one side. I'll get a bit of blue roll. Now that carb is now cleaned, and I'm going to wrap that up in some blue roll. Keep it nice and clean, away from everywhere else, so you don't pick no more dirt up. Put that down on one side, and then we want to transfer our attention to the actual main jet and the emulsion tube itself. So put those into a tray, quick little clean up, and I'll come back to you. Right, so you haven't got a set of these, you need to pick yourself a set up. Gas tip cleaners, eBay, Amazon, £3, £4, right, different size files. Grab your main jet. Now that will be plugged. It is plugged. It's absolutely plugged to high heaven. There's nothing in there at all. No hole in there whatsoever. Grab the smallest needle there is, the smallest file. Give it a little tiny poke. Bit of a clean. Go the next size up if you can. If it'll take it. Will it take it? Yeah, it does. You love it. Right. Next size up. And all I'm doing is just I'm cleaning up the side walls of this main jet. I'm not actually removing material, guys. I'm literally just cleaning the main walls up. Also important, little poke right inside the face of a jet, because that's where the ethanol sits in there and all. So good general tidy up, a little tiny poke. Once that's done, get your cleaner and watch it run through there now. Okay. Running through the lush. So now we know we've got a little hole in there. Let's have a little look-ski. You can see daylight. Do you know, I still can't see daylight in there. I can't actually see daylight. There must be some, must have literally just poked some more stuff in there, just as I was cleaning that one out. Yeah, now I've got daylight. Right, now I've got daylight all the way through, and now I can see I have. Let me just prove a point. Let me just grab my light off the top of my camera. And now you should be able to see daylight pretty much through there. There you go. There's a hole just there. So now you can see all the way through it, right? Which is great. That's what you want. That's how you want it. So a nice decent size hole there. That can go on a bit of tissue. And wrap that up. Get rid of that. And now grab your emulsion tube next, get rid of some of this debris that's on there. It's only ethanol, but this definitely won't help when you're trying to clean these bits up. Grab your files again, go for the size that fits. There'll be 2 sizes on these Honda ones. And literally, if there's a hole, as I've always said, if there's a hole, poke it in it. Good general clean. And go down to a smaller one, because on the top side there'll be 3 or 4 smaller ones. That's it. Now another general clean, straight in the back of the emulsion tube. Put your finger on the end and watch it spray out of all the holes. If it's not spraying out the holes, a little bit of stuff inside, and go again. Yeah, lovely. You can put it that end as well. And all we're doing is just rinsing out all the old ethanol that's in there, just to get rid of it. But that's good. Another bit of tissue, put it into there, don't get dirty. Right, quick little clean up, I'll come back to you for reinstallation. Right, the only bit I haven't yet done is this float bowl. So just put your finger at the bottom just to hold that nice and steady. And then I've got a little tiny wire brush or something similar here, of which I use. Little brass brush there. Put it in and just start to clean that up. Now, you're going to need to get this as clean as you can, because anything that you leave in here is going to collect back in the tube and jet a bit later on. So if there's a bit of solid rust in there which isn't deciding to come out, just get your screwdriver. Look at that stuff. Look at all that stuff there. Look. Isn't that yummy? Look.
It's not.
It's not very yummy, Riley, is it?
Disgusting.
It is disgusting.
It's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
In your mouth.
Now you can buy brand new bowls. So if your bowl is particularly bad, you can just buy a new bowl. But what I like to do is try and reuse them if I can. And with a flat-headed driver, just go around and just get the worst of what you can out. And just by agitation alone and an air compress off, you should be able to bring this bowl back to a really good standard where it's usable. It's just going to take a bit of cleaning to bring it back to where it needs to be. Get right up inside there. That's where it likes to sit, right up in there. So give us 2 minutes. Let me get this bowl cleaned. I'll come back to you once I've done that, because I did forget it. And I'll come back to you once I've got it. Looking at halfway sensible. Right, I think we're nearly there. Bowl's been done. It's about as clean as I can get it, but it's much cleaner than what it was. But all of there is solid rust in there, or a bit of pitting. So nice and clean. Quick little clean in here, to try and capture any bits of dirt and debris, because no dirt and debris when we're reinstallating the carburetor. Right, carburetor can come back. Nice clean carby. Here she is in all her glory. And I have my spray handy, because I want to make sure everything I put back in this carb is clean. So quick little spray off on the float, just get rid of all the minor bits of debris, so there's nothing on there. I want my needle, and again another little clean. Needle goes onto the float and it just hangs on there. That's all it does. There's a little tiny slit, just hangs in there like that. Quite happy. And then one movement down on top and into the hole just around the back of a carb, just there, and then it'll just sit down nice and tidy on its own. And then grab the float pin, if I can grab hold of it. Quick little wipe off of that. And again, I'll just make sure I'm not introducing any dirt as we reinstallate this carb. That goes into there. Lovely jubbly. It all moves up and down as it should do. We're happy with that. I need to put the main jet in and the emulsion tube, and the emulsion tube will go first. Emulsion tube goes in with this taller part of the chimney. That goes in first. In there like that. And then you grab your main jet, which has been cleaned. That can go into there. And then just grab your screwdriver and just start to work that one down. See how it's running much smoother now with regards to the main jet sitting down. And just well seat that, you don't have to hang on that. Once that's done, you've got another screw here. Again, another clean. And yeah, GT85 to get some more of my old Amazon wish list. Put that screw in there. And well seat that one. And then you've got another screw here with a spring that goes on top of that. And that's going to go just in there. And you want to wind that screw in until you see it come out the other side of a carby with about 3 or 4 threads just coming out the other side. You'll see it start to come through. Here it comes. Wait for the threads. There's 1, there's 2, and there will be 3 threads just there. That'd be enough. Okay, that's good. And then back over the other side, I'm getting another quick little clean. There's a little bit of dirt just there. It's just going to run it on its side, just to tip any dirt out that I might have missed. Have a WD-40. It's all about just getting it nice and clean and keeping it clean. Keeping it clean is the key. Bolt to go on. Now, this is going to go on like so on the engine, and you want to have this little tiny flooding screw around the front. And grab your 10mm bolt. Again, another little clean. And that'll go into there. I'm going to do that up with a spanner, not with an impact. We'll do that up. And that there be your carburetor, fully cleaned and ready to fit back onto the lawnmower. Go too far, of course, I need to remove all the fuel that's out of this lawnmower. I'm going to turn the tap on, that'll ensure I'm getting a good flow of fuel as well. But I want to make sure that all the fuel is out of this machine, because there's no telling how long that fuel's been in there. So let me get the fuel drained, we'll check the quality, and I'll come back to you once the fuel's been drained. Last thing I'll do is clean the carb up and put in old dirty mucky fuel in afterwards. So let me get the fuel drained out, I'll come back to you in 2 ticks. Right, as you can see here, fuel now out, and as you can see, if I tip it up onto its side, just starts to see a darker shadow. That darker shadow is water content. And as normal in most lawnmowers that we see nowadays in the old small engine world, that ethanol there, that's water breaking down, and it's the ethanol reacting with it, and that's actually water in there. But the actual fuel doesn't actually look to be too shocking, so I might just reuse the fuel once I filter it, but leave the water out. So carby is ready to go back on, and all I'm doing is just put a rag down here just to save any spillages, because the rest of the fuel is now coming out, and it all looks to be quite good. So now's time, a bit of a clean up, a bit of a tidy up, and we're going to start to reinstate this carby. Quite simply done. Just got to hook on the governor arm onto a big hole here, choke onto this one, and then your spring. So pretty much as it came off is how you're going to reinstate it. So governor arm can go on first, and then the choke one can go on second. And then the hardest one to do is actually the spring. You can try and put the spring on first. Sometimes that does actually help. In fact, I might even try that. Now, everyone's going to have a go at me. So, oh, Mick, get some downs. This makes it easier. That makes it easier. I know that, guys. Just, some people don't have all this stuff. So, some people are just doing this for the first time in their shed with very, very limited tools. So, let's just get that little tiny governor arm on. Put that in situ. That's that one in place. And then that one there. And then tip it round. Once it's tipped round, those arms will stay in place, and the carb will be quite happy just to sit there like that. We can now get your metal backing plate. That's got to go on. And then on the back of that will be a little tiny insulation block. Now that hole there, see that hole? That's got to line up with that bit just there. Okay, so go on just like so. Okay, that'll go on behind it. Let's stick that all on. Now this is the hardest bit in the whole operation. I'll give that a bit of a clean first. That just looks crusty and horrible. I'm going to put my fuel hose on first. Right, that's the first thing to go on. Fuel hose goes on, because we all know that'd be a pig to get to later on. Now, You've got to pick all this lot up together. It's all got to go in one sort of solid movement. You grab your bolts. Yes, you can use studs, and I haven't got any. So, bolts in, long ones. Now it's got to go through the car, through the plate, through the carb, through the metal plate, through the installation block, into the engine, whilst picking up this little tiny crankcase breather pipe which goes on the back of there in one go. Right, it's not as hard as it sounds, guys. So, just start one off and just start to bridge it all in. Once it's got the carburetor hold up in place, it'll stay there. You then push it all the way through until it goes through the back plate on the metal one on the back of a carb. Once it's got one of those in place, it'll hold that part up. Just locate it, there it is there. And then the second one goes into there, like so. That's all the way in. So I'll put this this insulation block on the back of that. Just like so. That's all gone in. Let's line that one up. That's all gone in. That's all gone in. Now, as you can see, it's not that difficult. And if I can do it, you can do it. Once it's into place on the block, then just poke your finger around, and you'll feel the crankcase breather needs to sit on to the air breather box, which has now gone onto place. So, once that's all done, tighten the bolts up, and that'll be a carburetor then fitted. Right, next thing to do would be the pull cord. Now, the pull cord's not too bad on here, but I think literally it has just been sat up for a while. So because the pull cord's quite good, I'm just going to take the pull cord out, unwind it all the way. Right, I'm going to poke a little screwdriver down in the hole because it's still under tension. Right, poke a little in there and then just remove this cord out. And put a new bit of string in and then just treat it with a little bit of oil, just to give it a little bit of a happy birthday. A bit of love. Get rid of that knot. That can come out. That can go on top just for now. Don't uncoil yourself. You can always measure the new cord you're going to put in if you want to. It's going to pay to put about a 3mm in because it's a Honda. I like to use 3mm on Hondas. So I need to get some more matte gas too, because I think I've got a spare bottle of matte gas somewhere, but I think my matte gas is nearly run out. It sounded very low the other day. Alright, burn that up. Poke that into oil. And then just run that one through, if it'll let me. So come back a touch. There it goes. In there. Put a knot on the end of that. So brand new pull cord. I've got to put a new spark plug in it as well, don't forget. So new one of those. Quick squirt with some WD-40. Just to lube all up inside there. And then uncoil this new pull cord we put in. Take the screwdriver back out. Get that a good couple of runs. Let's drag all that pull cord up. Now you want to leave about 1.5 foot overhang because this cord will go all the way up to the top of the handle. So we'll put plenty in. It sounds better already. And you want to leave about 1.5 foot towards the end. Cut that off, put that back out of the way. Grab to handle. Where did to handle go, guys? Do you see that? I did. I had it here a minute ago. Oh, I've done with it now. It could be there, maybe. Here it is. Right, here's the handle. 4 candles, please. Burn that off. New handle up in there. That's quite a big hole in there. That is. So we'll do a double Micks Mowers. Double Micks Mowers on there, tidy that off, burn that up. It just shrinks that knot then. That goes back onto there, and then that can go back onto there, like so. Replace the 4 bolts, and that's the pull cord done. And now with the lawnmower tipped up on its side, I'm just doing a quick sneaky little oil change. The oil is absolutely black as your app because it's been in there for about 3 years, I'd say. And it's a little bit low on oil too, so we'll have the oil out. And then we'll top it up with fresh, but before I top up with fresh oil, I want to get the blade off and get the blade sharpened and balanced. And then new air filter in, and we're getting a bit closer. So yeah, all change should be done. And with these Hondas, what's important with them, and not everyone knows it, but some people do. When you fill up an overhead valve engine, and not in all cases, but in pretty much most, always check the manufacturer's guidelines. But with the majority of the Honda ones, instead of you screwing in to do your oil, right? You wipe it. You wipe your stick, and then you just dip it in, all right? And then that way you get a full reading. If you put that in and screw it all the way in, when you get to the fill mark on here, because you screwed it in, actually you're going to be underfilled. So on these overhead valve Hondas, dip and test rather than screw in and test. So fill up with oil, be around about 500 ml, give or take. Put about 450 in it to begin with, then check the oil by dip and testing, and you'll know. But before I do the oil, in fact, I'll leave the dipstick out so I know there's no oil in it. I'm going to tip the lawnmower onto its bum, and I'm going to take the blade off and give the blade a good sharpen and balance. Right, blade's now sharpened and balanced, that's done. Just a few bits of hardware I had to put on just to tie the rest of the mower up. Still got to tighten up the spark plug yet, the carburetor. New spark plug going in now. So it's had total new spark plug, new air filter, carburetor clean, tank flushed, all changed, blade sharpened and balanced, bit of hardware replaced just where it needed it, and new pull cord, and she should be good to go. So now the new spark plug's in, let's take it outside. With this old lawnmower, which wouldn't really run very well, barely even start, off my mate Johnny, put the air filter in. Will this machine now run properly off its own back and do what it should do? And will it live to mow another day? Right, so she's now out in the garden. So just got to put the air filter back in. I haven't done that yet. Well, I've got to put petrol in it too, there's no petrol in there. But hopefully, we've pulled this one out the bag, and we're going to give it a whole new lease of life, and hopefully it'll do somebody for a season or so. Because if you look after these machines, thank you dog for peeing on my lawn. Right, there we go. Right, here we go. Mountfield all now done. Just got to put in the air filter on it, because I haven't done that yet. So new air filter, here is it. Get rid of the old dust, or suck that dust straight back up inside the old machine. And we should be good to go for a fire up. So that's all on. Let's carburetor's been tightened up. I did them up, yeah. Turn the fuel off for now. Let's get some fuel. We'll put some in. Fresh fuel. Now last time it wouldn't start off its own back, we know that. And hopefully it will start off its own back, it'll run, it'll idle, do everything it should do, and go from there. So let's just literally turn the fuel on, give it a second, just to run through. Here comes my Riley boy. What you got, Riley? What are you up to? What have you got? Crispies, hula hoops, one of Riley's favourites. Right, so that's now had a bit of a second just to run fuel down through. So I'm going to just the old wipe test underneath. Yeah, no leaks. We're holding, yeah, it's not leaking. So let's see if it can now run. Start up, idle, and start itself again once it's been stopped. So I think Pippi wants one of your Crispies. She's sitting there asking very nicely. Sit down, Pip. Good girl. That's it. She starts hula hoops. Right, on to choke then. Dead man in. Let's give it a pull.
Fly up!
See what it does. Is that fuel turned on yet? Oh, nothing. Right. Let's have a little look. Nothing going on. Let's make sure it is actually choking. That's the first thing to do. On the choke. All right, that's not choking. Oh, we're right.
Ow.
That's not choking as much as it should do. So, sort of adjust that carburetor. And all it is just a little tiny cable. Wants a bit of adjustment. So it's not choking all the way. So, flat air Phillips screwdriver. And all you got to do is loosen the, I'll show you guys, it'd be easier for me just to show you. All you got to do is loosen the cable off and then just pull that cable back. It's not quite choking. So when I put it onto choke, it may look like it's fully choking, but it's actually not. I don't know if you can see that. So all you got to do is undo this one and then loosen it off and then just pull this cable back towards the back of the mower, which should just take a bit of slack up on that choke, okay? That's all we have to do. So let's quickly do that now. So not all my machines all fire from minute one, that we know. So let's just loosen that cable up. And we'll set the machine to choke and then pull that cable back as far as it'll go. And once that's been pulled back, we can then do that cable back up. Now it's only about 2 or 3 mil. It's not a lot, but it should just be enough just to get the machine to fire. Right. Pip likes hula hoops, does she? Right. Let's try that. See what that does. Oh, nothing. Yeah, that's all on. Dead man working? Yeah. Aha. Bit of idle work on the carburetor needed. I dare say it wants a really good run as well. But it pulls like an absolute train. Lovely mower. Lovely. Yeah, mate. What? So on it?
Yeah.
Lovely little Honda engine. So now we know it'll start and stop off a choke. Will it now start off its own back? But might not be warm enough yet. Yeah. So there you go, one video on how to service your, come here you two, how to service your lawnmower. If you just pull it out of the shed and it don't want to start up, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be the fuel is the issue, and that then replicates onto the carburetor. Air filter is always going to be a problem as well. New spark plug, we could never do without a new spark plug, we just love new spark plugs. These Honda engines, they are spark plug eaters. Fresh bit of oil, sharpen the old blade and balance up, and you've now got a nice 21-inch aluminium decked Mountfield lawnmower with a Honda engine, easy starter. 2007, it lives to fight another day. What can be wrong about that? Absolutely cracking little machine. If this video has helped you out and you want to show your appreciation, hit the old thumbs up, subscribe to the old channel and whack the old bell.
Dang!
That way you'll be told next time I upload a video, and look forward to you girls and guys next time on Micks Mowers very, very soon. But until then, don't forget, much more importantly,
Easy.
take her easy.